going to happen. We also received some new information about a forum, what we allow in a forum, and you'll probably see within the near future that we're going to have a sign-in sheet for our forum. We're going to have people that want to speak to our council. They'll sign in, and then they'll notate on an index card as to their subject matter, and they'll receive instructions that they're not to use any profanity, they're not to be abusive, there are several issues that we're going to address, and if they get out of hand, the regulation calls for the mayor to get the council back in order. So you'll see a change in our procedures. Usually we let them come in and sit down and ask them, do you have anything to present to the council? Because we don't act on it when they don't get on the agenda. If they get on the agenda, we have to act on it. So I'm just bringing us up as far as some new procedures we're going to adapt. We want to be up to par on all the things that we do at our council meeting. We want to meet all the criteria that's required. Now, we're down to new business. First item of new business is Mr. Johnny Lamb and the streets. Mr. Lamb is not here, but he addressed an issue with me due to his health. I told him I would address this with the council. And I think the action that he's requesting can be taken care of by a new superintendent or myself. And the action that he requested was that he felt like individuals are throwing tree limbs and leaves in the ditch area of Chestnut, the East Chestnut, and it's causing a big washout. So I've spoken with Lonnie, and I've spoken with Fred, and I will speak with our new superintendent about trying to notify the individual in that area that the Chestnut Street drainage is not a dump ground. And I think we saw the problem Mr. Lamb has presented to us. And he did, by the way, ask when will we consider paving that. And I informed him we're trying to get a few done, and when we get these finished, we'll try to look at others as we proceed. Item B, discuss approved research for grants for City Park. I place this on here because you'll find out this year that we're spending a lot more money than we allocated for our city park. There are numerous reasons for this. And if you all have noticed this, we have more people now utilizing our park than we ever did, and really in the history of our city. I do want to make our parks, and looking for these grants, I do want to make our parks where a lot of the children and kids will have adequate play time and play items that they can play with and enjoy our park. A lot of our individuals are using it now for reading, parking and reading books and etc. You'll probably see some improvements that we're making along the fence road on our southern side of our park. But I do want us to try to seek, and this is something that I'm asking administrative staff to look at. If we can pull something and try to get a grant, and Rocket received one on last year or year before last, I believe. So I'm asking our administration here, including myself, I'm tasking myself to try to make our parks a lot better for our youth and our children. You hear so much now, everybody saying they want to leave things better for the next generation. I want to do the same thing for our park. Our park now is in good shape. We've finished paving the street in our park. We've sidelined, side dressed it, however you want to classify that. And right now, I think our park is really becoming a good eye opener for everybody that passes by. And I want to keep it that way. And administrative staff, we're going to be looking for grants to help us buy equipment, as well as help us with some of the probably adjacent fencing needs that need to take place to our adjacent landowners. So you'll see those things as we go through this year coming up on our agenda. Item number C, announcement and presentation of a new city superintendent. And let me address this. I would ask, and as you all know, I have not called a name tonight. We want to allow this superintendent to make well with his job before we announce his appointment. Okay? I have been informed by him that his job is requesting that he fulfill his 2 weeks notice at his job. So it wouldn't be fair to jump up and say and put his name out there and then he's still working on another job. He has accepted the job. As you all know, we held the board on last Friday, 5 o'clock p.m. We had 5+ candidates, and we made a good selection. He's thrilled about coming to Grapeland. He's pleased with and he told me that he enjoyed the questions that we asked him, but he thought he was being drilled by a drill sergeant. And but he said he was proud to be able to be the #1 selectee. So when are we looking for him to come to Grapeland? Within 2 weeks. When we will announce his name and et cetera? Within 2 weeks. Good news about this, we have given him a drug test, category 5, not category 10, and he has passed his drug test. As you all know, we're doing every employee that comes through our system like that. Every employee that the city of Grapeland hires will have to take a drug test. So I want to leave it at that. When he gets here, I'll be the first to notify all of the local papers and notify the local people. And now I suppose the word's out as to who he is, and everybody's asking me who he is. The word didn't come from me. So I feel like it's my responsibility to give him the respect that he's requested with his employee. Now, the other part of that is, as some of you might not know, when you already belong to the TMRS, if you jump and leave and don't finish during a period in between there, the employer can say that they drop you from your TMRS and it'll mess with your retirement. That's another issue that I don't want him to lose any time with TMRS. But you can hold me accountable to this. When he gets here and we do the paperwork, as really announcing him as the #1 excuse me, person, we'll put the name out there, and if you want to interview him and ask him all about his history, that's you and him. We, the council, unanimously, I repeat, unanimously decided him as the #1 candidate. And in closing, I do want to say this, even though Fred's not here tonight, I do thank Fred for carrying the load. Fred did a great job, and I appreciate what he done for the city of Grapeland. Item number D, review progress of city street projects. I think I've already discussed this. I talked with Jimmy earlier today, and as you'll know, we're through with the park. We're through with, as they call it, your street, Mr. Councilman Moffitt. And that's, what's the name of that street? College, South College. And we are progressing toward South Main. South Main should be completed this week. And then we'll leave there, and we're doing the survey work on Peach and Pear right now. Once they finish Peach and Pear, we're going to Gregory Circle. And then we'll go and hit the rest of the streets after that. But I appreciate the progress they're making. They're taking their time. And they, as you all know, we asked, well, the contractor did, and the engineer did, ask for some pretty good asphalt. So we almost putting the best down. And if you'd like to go look at it and stomp on it and inspect it, feel free to do so. But we will have an inspection report before we have the first draft from our city. Meaning the first draft, meaning the first paycheck that they receive. The inspector will sit down with me, myself, or even one of the council members, or our city superintendent, and relate his findings, whether they meet what we have in contract on our designated drawings. All right. Discuss approved fencing repairs adjacent to private property owners in the city park. It has been brought to my attention that we have some adjacent landowners that's concerned about our ugly looking fences in the park. This is something that I want to open up tonight for discussion among all the council members. Whether we want to do this, and we need to decide on how we want it to look. If you have an idea of a fence you'd like to put up in the park, I want to hear all those. I want to hear the pros and cons tonight. So that's what it says. It says discuss and approve fencing repairs adjacent to private property owners in City Park. Ms. Nichols will open up to you. With respect for you as the Mayor Pro Tem.